It's important to know what type of plantar fasciitis you have before choosing your shoe. So you have compression type plantar fasciitis, where when you initiate contact with the ground, that's when you get your worst type of pain. When you go to push off and you stretch the plantar fasciitis, that's stretch type plantar fasciitis. And then you have a third type, which is a mix between compression and stretch type. So choosing the right shoe will be influenced by what type of symptoms you have. And please keep in mind throughout the video that all information is for educational purposes only. I've popped links for the shoes in the description below if you want to check out the latest prices on Amazon. The first shoe we'll talk about is the Brooks Ghost Max 3. This had one of the best upgrades we've seen from any Brooks shoe this year. It has one of the broadest platforms underneath your foot to give you a really stable base to work from. 6mm difference from the back to the front of the shoe. This is really important because if you have a higher drop shoe, it can place extra pressure on the front of your foot. A lower drop shoe gives you a nice even distribution of pressure across the whole foot, whether you're standing or you're walking. We could consider 6mm or less a low drop shoe. This is also one of the most orthotic friendly shoes on the market. So if you're someone who already has insoles for plantar fasciitis and you want a Brooks shoe, well, this is your best option. It's got a really wide fit in the toe box, comes in an extra wide version as well, got plenty of space height wise in there for fitting insole in once you remove the outer sole, and it's got relatively firm cushioning so your insole doesn't sink into the cushioning, which can be a problem with really soft max cushion shoes. If you're someone who doesn't have an insole, this is an excellent option for compression type plantar fasciitis, as you have 39mm of cushioning underneath your heel and that lower drop, and it's a stable neutral shoe. So excellent option for insoles or for compression type plantar fasciitis. Then we have a complete opposite end of the spectrum, and that's the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. Now some people were disappointed with this update because it's not as responsive of a shoe as the original version. However, it's got lots of benefits. One being the huge amounts of cushioning underneath your foot. So it has 45mm of cushioning underneath the heel compared to 39 that we see in the Ghost Max 3. It also has a 6mm drop, but the cushioning is much softer, much more plush. So while it's firmer than the previous model, it's so much softer than the Ghost Max 3, which is more of a classic orthopedic shoe. So if you're looking for a shoe that gives you lots of protection, lots of comfort underneath your heel, especially if it's really sensitive on initial contact, this is a great option for you. A couple of caveats to this shoe: because it's more of a max stack shoe, it can be a little bit more unstable compared to the Ghost Max 3. It also has a slightly narrower fit on top, although it's considered a normal fit. The Ghost Max 3 just has an exceptionally wide fit on top. Has a great lockdown, has more of a wraparound engineered mesh on top, so if you don't like that sensation of it wrapping around your foot, also another caveat for this. Otherwise, it's one of the most comfortable day-to-day shoes that you'll find. Really soft, really luxurious feel underfoot, and can be an excellent option for compression type plantar fasciitis. Then we have two more stability type shoes. So we have the Brooks Glycerin GTS 22. Now this is Brooks's max stability shoe. It has their go-to support system, which is Brooks guide rail system. It's denser cushioning on either side of the midsole, and that keeps your foot centered in the shoe as you move. It also has a go-to support system, which is some arch support under the heel and under the arch of the foot. A couple of caveats with this type of shoe. If you have heel type compression plantar fasciitis, you may not enjoy the arch support in this because it starts directly under the heel, so you're going to get extra pressure under there. However, if you mostly get your pain when you go to push off, then this is an excellent option, as the pronounced arch support helps to take the strain off that plantar fasciitis, reduce the load placed under it when you go to push off, and it's a max stability shoe with a broad platform, a relatively balanced cushioning, so you have that nice step-in comfort. Has loads of space in the toe box, comes in a wide and an extra wide version as well. Has loads of comfort focus with extra padding and cushioning around the heel cup, and it's got really rigid heel cup as well, just to enhance that stability feature. So this is an excellent max stability shoe if you've got more of a stretch type plantar fasciitis. Now if you've more of a combined approach of both of them, you might look towards the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. You'll get this at really good value at the moment because the newer model has just come out. There's a link to this one in the description. Now it also has the go-to support system, but you don't feel as much, as not as pronounced or as stable or as fixed feeling underneath your foot as what you get in the Glycerin 22. So if you have a combination of both and you want some cushioning underneath your foot and you want some arch support, well, this can be a better option for some people. It has plenty of space in the toe box, comes in a wide version as well. The only caveat to these shoes is they have a much higher drop. So the Adrenaline has a 12mm drop and the Glycerin has a 10mm drop. That can influence where the pressure is placed on your foot, so it's just something to keep in mind. If you're looking for a shoe for compression one. And for stretch type, with arch support, the Adrenaline. Without arch support, you might look towards the Glycerin Max 3, as it's more of an all-rounder of a shoe. However, if you have any questions about the shoes, drop in the comment section below. I can't give you advice directly on your injury, so please avoid those type of questions. Otherwise, if you found the video helpful or interesting, like and share and subscribing is always welcome.